Hi, I'm Smig. I'm a variety Dead by Daylight content creator. I play mainly Killer, but I do play a lot of Survivor as well. And one thing that I have happen all the time, whether it's people coming in to the stream and asking questions, or it's friends of mine that see me on this game 24/7, grinding it out, they always ask, okay, we decided to check out the game. What builds would you recommend, right? We see the builds that you're playing, they look awesome. We don't have those perks. Where should we start? And I want to do kind of a two-part series here, one for Survivor, one for Killer, explaining where do you get started, and then once you're started, once you have a character that you're maining, where do you go from there to start getting some of these wonderful teachable perks. So my recommendation is always jump into the relatively recently added Getting Started tab and go in and do the tutorials, do the Survive with Bots, Kill with Bots, and earn those early blood points and unlock David and Wraith. Once you do that, hop into one of the lobbies, whether it's Killer or Survivor, and take a look at the blood web. You don't have to unlock anything yet, but just take a look at how it works. This is going to be your progression system for perks, for add-ons, for items, for everything that you're going to get in the game except maybe cosmetics and new characters. So kind of see what things cost, kind of see what's in the blood webs. If you want, you can kind of spend a little bit of blood points on a character that looks neat to you, but you might want to save that until we give a recommendation before you start dumping blood points. But see how it works. I always recommend get at least one perk that you want right away. Early on, you're only going to have one option, but later on, you're going to start getting 2, 3, 4 options. Get a perk. Get the perk that you want, and then go from there. Even if it's not the most blood point efficient, get the perks you want. You want to start growing that pool of perks, getting perks you like that you want to use. So grab those perks, and then kind of fill it out how you want. You can go for the browns to go as cheap as possible and get it onto more blood webs, or you can start really grabbing the items that you want, that you think you like, that you want to use later on. So get familiar with the blood webs. You're going to be on those a lot, and that is your key to unlocking the perks that you want, the items that you want, and the add-ons that you want. I think I didn't mention offerings there, but offerings as well. So once you've done the tutorial and you're familiar with how blood webs work, then we can get into my recommendations. So this video is going to feature the survivors, and then we'll do another video featuring the killers, and then we'll tack on some gameplay as well so you can kind of see how these builds work. So survivor-wise, I have 2 recommendations for everyone, and then if you're one of our console friends that has some extra characters for free, we'll do a little bonus with Fengmin as well. So I always recommend Meg Thomas or David King, and the reason I recommend those is because of their exhaustion perks. Exhaustion perks, for anyone that doesn't know, are perks that you can use to gain some distance, to get away from the killer for a short period of time, a short burst, and then they're on a cooldown. You have to walk, not be running for them to come back. It's usually 60, 50, and 40 seconds, depending on what tier you have them at, but they are critical for helping you extend chases, live longer, get away from the killer, or just waste more of their time. Some people would argue with me, don't use those early on, learn how to loop first, learn how to string together windows and pallets and all that kind of stuff. I don't buy that. I think eventually you're going to have to learn how to use exhaustion perks and how to manage those. Might as well learn right away. And once they're used in the chase, you're going to spend a lot of time without them, so you'll learn how to loop without them as well. So I would go and try just Sprint Burst, take everything else off, or don't unlock anything else yet, and try out just Sprint Burst. Don't dump any blood points in yet, and try just Dead Hard. See which one you like, play a couple games with each, and kind of feel them out, see which one feels better for you. Sprint Burst is great for making it around the map very quickly. Anytime you sprint and this is off cooldown, you'll get that burst of speed. You can get between objectives fast. You can get to gens. You can get to unhooks, whatever you need to, very fast. And then in chase, you can use it to make it to that next tile, to get away, to go across the map. There's some nuance there with 99ing the recovery, so you can walk a little bit in chase and then use it when you want to. That's some of the more difficult things to do in this game, are 99ing things and making sure you have them up when you need to. That's something you can learn as we go on. But just using it when it's available, it'll help speed up everything that you do in game. It's a wonderful perk. And then David's Dead Hard is an activated ability when you are injured, so you can only use it when you're injured, so you have to remember that. But it lets you dash forward, be invulnerable for a short period of time, so you can dodge hits or hatch hits from Huntress and the like, and you can make it to that next pallet or window or whatever it may be, so it helps you extend chases. Play around with both of those, see which one you like best, and then we can start sinking some blood points into our survivors. My recommendation is always get to at least level 15. That way you have 4 perks open, and then if you're happy with the 4 perks you have, you can stop right there, and we can start working on some teachables, or you can just continue to sink blood points until you get a build that you're happy with. There's no wrong choice there. A recommended build that I have is Dead Hard, and then we'll go with one other David perk, and that is We're Gonna Live Forever. Let's get our Dead Hard back here so we have them in the right order here. Might be a first page or second page perk. There we go. So, We're Gonna Live Forever helps you farm blood points. You get extra blood points for performing safe unhooks, for taking hits, for rescuing survivors with a pallet stun or a flashlight. So it just helps you continue to grind out those blood points, which you need a lot of early as you kind of work your way through the teachables and the different levels with your character. So that pairs very well with We'll Make It, which is a kind of universal perk that allows you to heal people faster. So it helps you with those safe unhooks, keeping your teammates alive. So fantastic perk there, and one that's very easily swapped out for a teachable later on. And then the fourth spot, I'd recommend running Kindred, which allows you to read the aura around survivors for the killer, see if they're camping, see if they're close by, know when to go for unhooks, that kind of thing. It just provides a ton of information. I'd go with that if you're running mainly solo queue. If you're running mainly with Swifts, with Survive with Friends, and you have other people on comms communicating with you, I'd recommend Spine Chill. Spine Chill lets you know when the killer's looking at you, speeds up your actions a little bit. That can be critical, so that's kind of the build I'd go with. These three, Dead Hard, We're Gonna Live Forever, We'll Make It, and then your choice of Kindred or Spine Chill. Fantastic build for David. Highly recommend that for beginners. Helps you farm blood points, helps you survive, helps you help your teammates out. It's a great build. I could run that and be perfectly happy. I do recommend item-wise bringing a med kit early on, being healed, having to take 2 hits in each of your chases just helps you survive so much longer. So I always recommend that early on. Once you get some other perks, maybe some healing perks, or you learn to better survive, then maybe you can start trying out some of these other things like flashlights, toolboxes, and the like. But I always start with a med kit. I think it's the most impactful, especially early on. With Meg, once you decide, if you decide that Meg and Sprint Burst are for you, Meg has some absolutely wonderful teachables, some of the best in the game. You have the Sprint Burst that we talked about. You have Adrenaline, which heals you a health state and also provides a haste effect with exhaustion, but a speed burst for you at the end game once the gens are powered. That can get you up from the ground if you're being slugged. It can heal you mid-chase if you're being chased. If you're on a hook, when you get unhooked, you'll be fully healed. It's a great perk. She also has Quick and Quiet, which helps you hide the noise detection when you vault or enter lockers. So it's kind of a stealth perk. It's not the greatest perk, but it can be very good. It's still a top, I don't know, A, B tier perk, so not bad at all. So you can run her perks if you'd like. Let's see, we got Quick and Quiet here, and we'll grab Adrenaline as well. So you can run her teachables, and then you can do that same thing with Kindred or Spine Chill like we did with David. Or if you decide Sprint Burst and Adrenaline for me, Quick and Quiet doesn't work a ton in this build for me, then you can start running my favorite build on her, which is Sprint Burst, Adrenaline, Spine Chill, and Kindred. Very good build. And then bring that med kit just like we did with David. So that would be my recommended build on Meg. And then for our bonus build, we'll showcase Feng. Feng has some good perks here. She's got Lithe, which is a great exhaustion perk. When you hit a vault, you can take off with a Sprint Burst for 3 seconds. It helps you kind of get away, make some distance, string together those loops. And we'll take off these perks I was running before in some custom lobbies, and we'll show what I'd recommend as a beginner build for her. So, beginner build for her. Her teachables aren't bad. Alert gives you some information, lets you know when a killer's breaking things and where they're at. Technician seems like a good perk. It helps you hide the noise when you miss skill checks, but I'd say that's a trap perk. You don't want to be missing skill checks. You want to learn how to do them. So rather than mask the issue, just deal with it. Take your lumps. If you miss skill checks, the killer's going to find you. You'll work on your chases and learn to hit those skill checks. So with Lithe, I love to pair another Vault perk in Spine Chill. It's one of our picks earlier for the other builds as well. Pairs up great with this. And then you can kind of fill out any other 2 perks that you like. One recommendation I have is the Small Game, and we always miss this Inner Healing combo here. So this will allow you to not have to bring that med kit. It allows you to cleanse a totem and then get in a locker later and heal up. So it's some healing and also some totem fighting. Totems will help you earn blood points and also help you avoid things like Noed, Devour Hope, Ruin that you see a lot of early on because they are available either universally or on free killers. So this can be also used on Meg and David if you'd like to sub out 2 of the perks for this. So this is my recommended build for Feng. So again, everybody's not going to have Feng. Feng's available on the console editions, not available for free on PC, but it gives you another option if you want to go that way and you have her unlocked. Once you have one of these 3 kind of leveled up to a point where you're happy with the build, whether that's 15 and you just want to put your best 4 perks on, or it's a little farther on and you have a good build like one of the ones recommended here, I would recommend jumping over to playing that character, but jumping over to Bill with your blood points. So play the character you picked with your exhaustion perk, whether that's Meg, David, or Feng, and then spend your blood points in Bill's webs. What you're really trying to do here is work your way through Bill's perks up to level 40 and unlock Borrowed Time and Unbreakable. Both are very good perks. Borrowed Time lets you get those safe unhooks. If you have a camping killer or a killer that's coming back to the hook, you can protect your survivor friends and let them take a hit and get away and then have to mend later on. And then if you're getting slugged a lot, Unbreakable lets you get back up, lets you recover quicker. Both are very meta perks, great perks, and they work great with the builds we've already discussed. So this is kind of a real quick guide on picking your first survivor and then picking the first survivor that you're going to get teachables from, and that would be Bill. So real quickly, we're not going to let this run too much longer. Wanted to make it kind of quick and to the point, but we will jump back to these and show kind of how these perks work in real well with the survivors we already are playing. So with Meg, you can kind of come over here and you can kind of do our Kindred Spine Chill swap based on Swift or solo queue like we said before, and you can just slot in Borrowed Time if you'd like. And then I don't always recommend Unbreakable with Adrenaline. They both kind of get you up. This one's kind of end game. If you get there, then it can kind of get you off the ground if you're being slugged end game. I know Unbreakable can come in handy, but Unbreakable could slot in here if it's a perk that you wanted to run if you're getting slugged a lot. So something like this would be a very good build. You're running 4 very strong perks, and you only had to level up 2 total free survivors. When it comes to David, if you're running kind of this blood point farming build, you can keep juggling this Spine Chill Kindred combination. You could also slot Unbreakable in there if you wanted to. But what I would definitely do is, if you're running Dead Hard and we're going to make it, or we're going to live forever, swap out Will Make It with Borrowed Time. It's a better perk for getting those safe unhooks, and it'll help you farm those blood points. So very solid build right here. And then with Feng, this is one of those ones where you've got the healing build on here. This could swap out for something else, but you could take Spine Chill and you could sub that out for Borrowed Time, and you have a very solid build here as well. So I don't want to make this last forever. These are kind of my recommended builds, recommended path for picking your first main, leveling up build then to get some good teachables for that main, and then once Bill's at 40, you can dump the blood points into your main and get all of these perks unlocked. So I'll have some tags in the description so people can find the builds real quickly and not have to listen to this all. But for everybody else, this was kind of a quick explanation of why you're running these, what these builds are good for, and kind of where to start out. So I'll have some gameplay of all of these builds up in the corner in the next video, so check those out, and hopefully it'll help you make a decision and help you out on your process of getting started in Dead by Daylight. Alright, appreciate you guys stopping by, and good luck in the fog.